Thank you for joining us for the virtual tour of Window Woman of New England. We're located in Amesbury, Massachusetts, right off of Elm Street. If you're familiar with the Barn Restaurant, we're behind the Barn Restaurant. We have been in this building since 2015. We've been in business since 2003. Welcome to Window Woman of New England. Now let's take you on a tour of the workshop. Normally we'd have you here in person, but this year with COVID, we're doing things virtually. So we have two vans that we go out to uninstall and reinstall windows. We have a wide supply of antique hardware, all sorts of trimmings and finishings that we would use to restore any and all types of windows. This is our main workshop. The whole building is about 5,000 square feet. You'll see here these tables, which are downdraft tables. We assume all antique windows have lead paint on them, so we try to work as safely as possible. These downdraft tables have HEPA filters and fans to direct the air away from the workers' faces, so it's a very safe environment. This is our steamer, which is also one part of our process. We have here space for glazing, painting, and woodwork. This main workshop is mostly sanding, spray painting, and glazing. We'll go down now into the wood shop. So here in the wood shop, we mostly do repairs. We can build sash, and we're starting to build more and more sash. But typically what we're working on is repairs to windows. And then from there, we can go into the paint room. We'll take a look at the painting operation a little bit later. Here you can see a range of windows that we have that we're working on. At any one time, we'll have anywhere from 10 to 20 projects that are going. These are some beautiful windows from Gloucester, Massachusetts. We have a wide variety of paints available. Anything the customer specifies we can get. We do a lot of stained windows as well. So from the paint room, we go back up to the main workroom, then back out to the office area, and into the reception area. We want to show you now pretty much what our process is in a funny sort of mocked up way, since we're obviously doing this virtually. But typically when people come to us for repairing their windows, it's because they have broken panes. You can see here there's some damaged buttons, some horrible paint. Typically they're painted shut, the windows don't operate. So we can do what we can to make them beautiful and functional once again. All antique windows are designed to be removed from the inside. So in our little mock-up demonstration, we'll show you that basically you remove the front stops and then the windows can come out to the inside almost like magic. Once the windows are in our shop, we do a thorough process to check them in. Again, because we will have anywhere from 5 projects to 25 projects, we need to make sure they're all identified and cataloged. So we're looking to identify where the broken glass is, any scratched glass. We look at whether it's antique glass or new glass, any repairs that are going to need to be made. So there's a lot of intake that goes on with these windows so that we make sure that we understand the scope of the project and schedule it appropriate with the work to be done. The first step in our process is to remove the paint and glazing. We use steam heat to do that. It's a very safe and effective way to loosen the bond of the paint to the wood. The windows go into the steam oven. The steam oven is at about 200 degrees. They go in anywhere from 15 minutes to half an hour. Once they come out of the steamer, we get to work removing the glazing putty on the outside. And with the glazing putty, there are also metal points that hold the glass on, so we want to remove those as well. As you can see, the steam does a nice job of softening the putty so that it will come out fairly easily. This isn't the case on all windows, but this one in particular happens to have nice crumbly glazing. So we want to get all that putty out. Once the putty is mostly out and removed, we will get to work on removing the glass. important for us to try to save as much original glass as possible. When the glass is out, we label it as to the sash that it comes from and the location on the sash. We try to reinstall as much original glass as possible, again, as long as it isn't broken or scratched. Once the glass is removed, it goes over to the glazing area. We typically soak the glass and get it cleaned and ready for reuse. From there, the sash will go down into repairs. One of the more common repairs is a broken mutton bar. Typically, if somebody didn't close the sash lock, it will damage the sash. But there's all varieties of repairs that we do. Our preferred method of repair is to do a wood repair, also called a wood Dutchman. We do epoxy repairs as well, but wood is preferable for what we mostly do. So you can see here he's carefully trying to remove just the damaged section of wood. We're going to route out the wood that's damaged to try to get a nice clean surface to put a new piece of wood into. Most of our work is done with hand tools. We do use the occasional power tools, but the vast majority of our work is done with hand tools. Here he's chiseling down the remains so that we can get a nice smooth surface to get a new piece moved onto it. Now we're ready to attach a new piece of wood, and we'll let that cure. Once that's dry, he gets to work tooling the surface to make sure that it's the right profile. In New England, we have a variety of different profiles to window sash, mostly because we have a long window of time of windows that we work on, anywhere from 1650 to 1950. So a lot of times we just have to do it by hand, much the way it was done originally. So he's shaping the wood at this point to get it close to the profile that it should match. So now we have it roughed out and a final sand. Most of the repairs that we do are to bottom rails where the corners have lost their strength. They no longer are sturdy enough to hold glass. This is more of a cosmetic repair, but still an important one. Nice work. Once the repairs are done, the sash can go back up to the main workshop and we can move on to the next step. Now we're ready to get the glass ready to go back in. Again, most of our glass that we're reusing will be soaked and cleaned to get it ready for reinstallation. If we don't have a piece of glass, or if it was broken, we will cut new glass to fit the opening. We have a good selection of antique glass that we salvage from other windows, or new glass, or we also have reproduction antique glass. It all depends on what the customer wants and what the window needs. Glass is ready to go. The next step that we will do is what's called bedding the glass. A small amount of the glazing putty is put down into the glazing rabbet, R-A-B-B-E-T, which will cushion the glass. So it makes a nice firm thin seal of glass to wood on the inside of the window. It's not a very neat process. We basically just want to get a good amount into the glazing bed so that the glass will have a nice good cushion to sit in. So that it has a nice even amount of putty around the underside. We use a palm sander with a cloth covering it so the glass doesn't get scratched. From there we need to put glazing points, which are the metal pieces that actually hold the glass to the wood frame. These are very tiny little pieces, but they're very critical to the window to hold the glass in place. Our point gun is wonderful for getting them in quickly, but it doesn't often drive them all the way in, so we need to use our glazing hammer to actually make sure the points are in as far as they need to go for a good glazing job. From there, it's time to do the final application of glazing putty. What we want is a nice smooth line of putty. The angle is so that when the water hits the sash, it will roll right off the window. Again, this aids energy efficiently tremendously. This glazing putty is so critical to make sure that the window is weather tight. We use Sarco Type M putty. It's a linseed oil based putty. Once the glazing is cured, and it can take anywhere from 3 to 5 days for the glazing to skin over enough to paint it, we will typically apply an oil-based primer and then top coats of paint of any type, whatever the customer specifies, whether it be oil or latex or stain, either one. As you can see, we don't use blue paint, we don't use any masking liquids. After painting several hundred sash, you just get very good at being very neat and tidy about it and doing very little cleanup at the end. All of our work is hand brushed. We don't have any spray equipment at all to do painting. One of the things that often gets asked is if we can restore the original hardware that came with the windows. Don't ask me why, but painters love to paint over the hardware. So we typically use a wire wheel to get off the majority of the paint and try to clean it up as best we can. A little buffing. And almost like magic, the lock is shiny and new again. And then it's how does it all go back together? We have a lot of people who drop off their windows and uninstall and reinstall them themselves, but we can come and do it on site. Almost like magic, get the sash in, the rope, weather strip, and ready to go. We like having nice clean windows as well. So that's our tour of our Window Woman workshop. Again, in normal times we welcome people to come and visit us. During these times, if you want to come,